right, first up this morning, the truth is most people have really good intentions when it comes to recycling plastic, but sometimes even the best intentions can cause problems.
That's right. Here to help us make sense of plastic recycling is Analiese Smith with Waukesha County Recycling. We're glad to have you back to help us learn a little bit of this stuff.
I love it when you're here.
Yes.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you guys as well. It's
A lot
great
of
to be back.
confusion about plastic.
So much confusion about plastics.
Yes.
It's one, you know, aluminum cans, they're easy. You just put them in. But there are so many different types of plastic and different mixed messages, and
Yes.
depends where you live and all sorts of different things.
Why can't we just
So-
recycle everything that's plastic?
You know, I wish we could. There are some things that cause safety issues at our facility. So,
Like what?
The plastic bags, for example,
Oh, okay.
cause issues. And then some things there just aren't a market for. So if we can't sell the plastic to a mill to make a new product,
Okay.
it doesn't close the loop. So we need to make sure that we have a market for the material.
Is some of it separated out of the regular garbage too, or does it truly have to be put in a recycling bin to even make it to a recycling plant?
It does have to be put in the recycling bin because the garbage trucks go to a totally different site and a different facility.
That's important to know, because I've heard people be confused about that. Like, they're going to separate it anyway, so I don't need to do it. And
Who
it's like, no,
thinks
you got to
that?
do it. You got to do your
Garbage
part.
truck goes that way, the recycling truck goes the other way.
Yes, you gotta do it.
remember. And
Yes.
yeah, it's great to remember. I think that's a great rule of thumb, is that the plastics that you can recycle are reused to make new products.
Right. And that's so important to protect the chain of what the things become, because if something's really, if there's like medical waste or something, you don't want that in your recycling because you don't want that going into a new product.
Right.
So we're kind of watching things being separated here. What happens if is it really just the manual, the people saying, hey, this can't be recycled, they take it off?
So it's a combination of people and machinery.
Okay.
So we have optical sorters that are almost kind of like mini lasers.
Yeah,
that
we
do
saw
help
that there.
some of the sorting. And then we have people on the front end and the back end for quality control.
Okay.
All right, let's get going
So,
with this,
yeah.
because I love this setup. You
Gotta
always
know.
bring great props.
So what I tried to do is come up with 4 questions that you can ask yourself.
Okay.
And if the answer is yes to every question, it's recyclable. So
Okay.
the first
Number one.
question is it loose?
Is it loose?
So the only thing that's not loose on this table here is this bag right here.
I see.
So this would actually not be recyclable.
Because it's closed.
Because it's closed
All
and
the stuff is in it.
all the stuff is in it. So even though there's good recyclables in here,
So would all of that not be?
it would probably get tossed in with our residue.
Oh,
and
no.
that's because they don't know
bad.
what's in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they don't know
You
if
were
it's
trying
dangerous.
so hard, and it even says recycle on the outside, so you think you're doing good things.
Yes.
Yep.
So everything needs to be loose in the bin.
Okay.
And one time, our recycling in my community, they put a little note on the recycling bin, because some people were putting things in my recycling bin at home, not
Yep.
knowing, in
Yep.
bags. So you got to take those out. It should be loose in your container.
Yes.
Too. Okay.
Yes.
Number 2.
Number 2. Yes.
Is it a firm container?
So is it a firm container? Yes. Now this is, the term that we also use is rigid container. So if you want to help me find anything that is not a firm container on this table.
This?
Yep. So this would be garbage.
That's an old wine from a
that's
wine box.
from a Boda box.
What if you cut?
Why
oh no,
do I know
not
that?
even cut off the nozzle, but you could put that in with your grocery bag recycles.
If it was dry and
cut
the
off
right
the-
number. Yes.
okay.
Then yes.
All right, this is
So-
also not firm.
Correct. And the dinosaur, we get a lot of toys.
No, why isn't that's rigid?
It is rigid, but it's not a container, and the chances of this being the right plastic are very low. And there might be metal screws or batteries, all sorts of bad stuff in toys. So toys are not recyclable.
I'm glad you brought a hose, because I was just reading about this, because I was troubled by all the mulch bags I have and soil bags, which cannot go in curbside recycling, but you can reuse them as garbage bags. That's one good use, but hoses, no, you got to throw them away.
Correct.
Right?
Yep. They get wrapped around our equipment, and people have to strap on harnesses and cut them off several times a day, and it's one of the most dangerous jobs in the plant.
Don't put your hoses in
No
there.
hoses.
No hoses.
In recycling.
Your hoses to yourself.
So, and
Okay.
no styrofoam. And then over by you, we've got some other non-rigid
toothpaste?
containers. The toothpaste, the chip bag, the
These aren't
date
recyclable?
bag. None of that is recyclable.
Not even this?
No.
Oh, even though it has the little recycle thing on it, it's just not right.
Correct. sometimes they'll put that recycling symbol around a number,
Yes.
but it's not the type that we accept in Southeast Wisconsin.
Oh man,
Good to
so
know.
garbage.
Good
So
to
all
know.
of this would be garbage. I think there might be a plastic spoon somewhere.
Okay.
So yes,
Oh,
it has
yeah.
to be a container.
Okay, number three.
Number
is
three-
it from inside your home?
Is it from inside your home? So
Okay.
motor oil and planting containers are a no.
So here's one thing I just want to say about these. Sometimes gardening centers will accept these,
Yes.
especially if they're clean. But also what I do is if I have large pots and I'm planting something, I turn them upside down and plant. You don't have to use as much potting soil. There are a lot of really good uses for these.
Absolutely. And we always encourage people to reuse before they throw out.
Okay, that's
And then the
awesome.
last question is it clean? So the mayo and the lotion, there's too much material, too much stuff in there, so that would also need to be rinsed clean.
So even though these were recyclable, they'd have to go in the garbage because they have too much product in them.
Yep, we'd hope you'd rinse and empty out the product.
Rinse
and
it
then they
out,
would
people.
Be fine.
Rinse it out.
Yep.
But this is okay because it's clean. This I'm assuming is,
Yep.
is okay.
Totally
it's clean on
perfect.
the inside.
Yep.
Okay,
So
clean.
it's okay. Clean. How clean is clean? Like
I would say you don't have to run it through your dishwasher, but you wanna make sure that the optics can help work.
what about
So-
berry containers? Strawberries, blueberries,
They are
raspberries?
fine.
They're good.
Do you leave the
recyclable.
lids on soda bottles and stuff like that?
Yes, lids are fine.
Okay,
lids
that's
are
good to
okay.
know. I always take them off.
Lids on these too?
Perfectly
Recyclable.
fine. Yep.
Oh.
So all this stuff is a yes?
All the stuff is a yes. The one iffy one is the cup, the single-use cup, the solo cup up there. You need to check that it's a number 1. Sometimes they're
the
a
number
1,
on it?
sometimes
It
they're a
says
6.
number 6.
So that's
So-
a 6.
Oh, that's a
So
no.
no?
So that would be a no, but a lot of places are now switching to number 1s.
What about the cat litter
It's
container?
in. It is.
That
it's
goes
a
in.
rigid container from inside the house, so it
Put
is
it in.
good to go.
All right,
Okay.
that's fantastic. All this stuff.
Look at us.
All that goes
We're
in.
so environmentally
Okay, here's the
friendly.
deal. I love this so much. It's great information because there's a lot of confusion about plastics. Also, grocery stores, many of them now take grocery bags because those are not recyclable. But here's what you need to do. They have an incredibly wonderful visual guide. If you go to
Yes.
WaukeshaCounty.gov/recycling, they'll sort out what plastic goes in, what plastic cannot. And there are lots of ideas if you look online now for things that can't be recycled, how you can reuse it.
And ask yourself those 4 questions. Thanks,
Yeah,
Annalise.
it was awesome.
Thank you. Good seeing you
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Yeah,
Love
thanks.
it.